My name is Jasmine, for those of you who are new here. If you are a returning subscriber, what's good, guys? What's poppin'? How you doing? Just make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below if you are someone who struggles with keloids or has had one in the past and what your story is. I won't make this intro long at all. I want to get right into today's video because I will be doing a lot of talking. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, I recently just had keloid removal surgery at Lexington Plastic Surgeons, and Jesus, I am just so thankful and so grateful, and it was not an easy journey to get to the point today. I did want to share my story with you guys, how I even got a keloid in the first place. Does keloids run in my family, and how I landed at Lexington Plastic Surgeons for my removal and radiation therapy. Like I said, this will be a 3-part series, and today I'm pretty much going to be giving you guys the backstory. A lot of people do not even know that this is something that I've been dealing with for years. A lot of people have never seen it. A lot of people are going to be shocked when they watch this video, and I'm expecting that. I have posted things more recently in the past month on TikTok. TikTok is the only platform where I feel just like that I can be open and true and just really transparent, so that's where I felt comfortable sharing. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, make sure you guys head over there and follow me, because a lot of content, well, if you are looking for like exclusive content from me, TikTok is the place to be. Throughout this story time, I will be sharing the story. A lot of the story, it'll kind of be broken up into maybe 3 different parts of this specific video. I'm going to be sharing most of the beginning with you of everything in the backstory of how everything came to play, and then once I get to the part around August of 2021, I'm going to start inserting clips, real-time vlog clips. So throughout this process, I was vlogging my experience to get an in-the-moment kind of clips for you guys. So I will be popping those in as I'm talking and as I'm going throughout the story, and popping back here to finish like keeping the structure of the story. So we're gonna start with the timeline. Actually, we're gonna start with my backstory and where the keloid even came from. First off, keloids do not run in my family. I don't know anybody in my family who's ever had a keloid or who skin keloids when they have scars or anything like that. My prior history with piercings, tattoos, scarring, I've always just been normal, regular. I mean, I have tons of piercings, been re-pierced, some ripped out, and scars never came. Or the multiple tattoos that I have, my skin typically heals very normally when I have a scar or get a cut or anything like that. So the particular ear that the keloid was in my left ear, and it originally developed in my first piercing. I did have 2 piercings, but the first piercing for years and years was always irritated. It's just something that I never took care of, and obviously regret that now. But in the past, it was nothing that I took care of because it didn't bother me. It didn't cause me issues. I just wouldn't wear earrings as often, or I wouldn't definitely not sleep in earrings, or whatever the case may be. Certain heavy earrings I couldn't wear for too long because that ear piercing would be sensitive and it would hurt. And I believe that the ear piercing was getting stretched out, and that's why it was basically like a scar, like a cut, right? Like a cut that you keep messing with and you never let it heal. That is what I feel like happened to my ear. So in 2017, when I was pregnant with Nova, it didn't happen immediately, but the keloid did begin to develop, and this was again 2017. Okay, the keloid began to develop later on in the pregnancy. I didn't start showing until around my gender reveal. I do specifically remember my gender reveal and vlogging, and remembering I wanted to like pull my hair over my ear because it was noticeable. You could definitely see that something was on my ear. And here's a little picture of kind of what it looks like around the time I was pregnant / gave birth. And I gave birth in 2018. So around 2018, it was a full-on keloid at that point. I pretty much lived with this keloid all the way up until the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, when I finally inquired about getting it removed, or I learned that there was a way to get it removed. And I didn't do 100% like enough research. I kind of just mostly just inquired with my doctor. At the time I was insured with my insurance was with Kaiser Permanente, so a lot of the things that Kaiser does is just in-house. So after living with it for this long, right, it's been, my daughter is about to be a year now at this point. In 2018, at the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, I had removal surgery at the beginning of 2019. But I can't remember when. I don't know if just like I've really dealt with emotional trauma mentally from this experience, because as I was writing down my notes for this, I like couldn't remember dates. I couldn't remember like, well, when did I have that surgery, or when did that happen, or X, Y, and Z. Like, it's like my brain is like blocking it out. But I'm nearly positive that my surgery was sometime end of 2018, beginning of 2019, because in 2019 was when I started my job at Delta as a flight attendant. In flight attendant training, I remember wearing earrings. I was wearing earrings. I was my second hole. After the surgery, this is pretty much what my ear looked like. So I know for a fact I got it done before I started doing stuff with Delta, because I don't recall any self-conscious when it came to my interview process or my hair at training. I had no hair during training. That was when I was a really short cut, so I was wearing earrings in training. Mind you, my second hole, the keloid was pretty small compared to what it ended up being later on come 2021. So my second hole was still available. I was wearing earrings in that second hole. I was, you know, it was fine until I ended up noticing that the keloid slowly started to come back. Now I'm gonna backtrack a little bit to the first surgery. Like I said, I was insured with Kaiser Permanente, and when I inquired about the keloid removal, they expressed that they could do the keloid removal, but there was no more information beyond that. There was one risk factor, and the doctor told me, you know, we can remove it, but there's no guarantee that the keloid won't come back. And that was pretty much all the information that I had. But at the time, I was like, no, like I want to get it removed, and we'll just go from there. And they expressed all of the follow-up procedures that I could do to prevent it from coming back. And I'm gonna be honest, I really dropped the ball here, and of course, regretfully, I dropped the ball here and didn't buy the ear clamp. I didn't, you know, do the proper procedures post surgery. It came back like it ended up coming back, and it came back worse. The experience of the removal was, I went to a Kaiser Permanente. They brought me to a room, you know, on whatever floor, and they asked me what music I like. They numbed the area. I was awake. They numbed the area. I could hear and listen to the whole procedure as it was happening, as he was cutting the keloid off. And I walked out of there and was just fine. Like, I remember the ear being sensitive, but I don't remember like pain levels. They didn't put me to sleep. I don't remember like having to constantly take medicine because the pain of the surgery was bad. Like, I don't remember any of that happening, and I hardly remember what that healing process was even like. It just seemed like it healed so fast. And I do remember the doctor constantly telling me, like, don't hit it on anything, don't bump it, knock it, whatever. And there were a couple times where my daughter, being one, you know, did hit me on my ear, and it did hurt. I remember the pain. After that, the ear healed pretty quickly. So at this point, we're in the middle of 2019, going towards the end of 2019. And throughout this time, this second keloid has begun to get larger. It did take a while to grow to the capacity that it was at in the thumbnail photo from now, so it took some time, but it was certainly growing back, and I could see it growing back. I could see it getting bigger. And so that got me to the point of, like, I stopped cutting my hair to make sure that my hair would grow out and cover my ear. I began being really self-conscious about it, because by March of 2020, the keloid having come back was completely noticeable. You could see the keloid. People would continuously ask me like, oh, I think your ear is red or swollen or something, whatever. The people would bring attention to it. And so it got to the point emotionally, mentally, where I just was like, I would like to cover it up. Like, how can I prevent people from seeing my ear until I can figure out what the heck I'm gonna do next, right? So I stopped cutting my hair. I pretty much wore my hair out curly. You would see me do the curly afro for a long time, which covered up my ear. It was like as my hair grew, the keloid grew. It was almost like perfect timing. I know it sounds crazy, but it was really perfect timing, because by the time my hair was able to cover my ears, my keloid was large enough to where I didn't wear my hair back at all. For the past 2 years, I've been simply wearing my hair out like this. You would see me out with my hair like this, or, you know, just I'm always having the same hairstyle, and I would never slick my hair back because I was self-conscious. Emotionally, I was drained. I looked in the mirror and hated who I saw. It definitely caused a blockage and increased my depression and anxiety, considering there were other things like my weight loss journey, or just honestly everything. The things that you wouldn't even think that it would affect, it was affecting me because I didn't feel 100% about myself. This was something that came along, right? I actually had somebody tell me, well, maybe this is God telling you to, you know, embrace and live as you are. I'm just like, that's just something I could never get with, because this isn't something I was born with. This just came, and it also came because probably what also factored into it coming back was me not properly taking care of it, or knowing the seriousness of taking care of it after I got it removed the first time. So hiding behind like what was really going on seemed like my only option, because I was just so ashamed. Like, it really wasn't until a month before my second surgery where I started opening up and posted a TikTok and began to talk about it, because this isn't something you just swallow, a pill you just swallow and be like, it's fine, I'll just walk around with this big thing on my ear and it be the talking piece every time I go out in public. Like, absolutely not. You know, on top of my job, being a flight attendant, appearance being a thing at work, or my social media and stuff like that. I'm all about transparency and opening up to you guys, but this was something that I really needed time to like really deal with and figure out, and be like, this isn't something I want to even like attach myself to. You know what I'm saying? The keloid is gone. Like, I don't even want to call it my keloid journey, because you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but energetically, that's kind of where I was and where I'm at now. But by March of 2020, it was extremely noticeable, and for the rest of that entire year, I was hiding, trying to do my hair in ways that you couldn't see my ear, being self-conscious, moving my hair like this every 10 minutes. Like, it was a lot. It was a really big toll. And for anybody who's out there dealing with that, and I just know what you're going through emotionally, and just know that there are options out there for us to get it removed and get better. But soon I will share. Let's keep going with this story. In the midst of this self-conscious state, in 2020, I did look up and started to Google, could I get my keloid removed again? And I knew that I could. It was just a matter of where, and I wanted to go somewhere. I seen like an advertisement, or in my Google search, I found Lexington plastic surgeons. The thing about Lexington plastic surgeons is they consider they are a plastic surgery location or practice, but they like to think themselves as keloid removal surgeons, and that also do plastic surgery. So I was really intrigued. I was seeing so many different stories of so many people who had keloids, got them removed at Lexington plastic surgery. And the difference between this surgery and the one that I got previously was that this one included radiation. The radiation was a sure thing for the keloid not to return, right? So I'm like, yes, I want to do this. I want to do this. I set up a consultation. And mind you, I don't remember when this was. This was probably sometime in 2020. But I set up a consultation. I or maybe even 2019, because I don't remember having to wear a mask there. So it couldn't have been 2020. It was probably definitely in 2019, which dates back even further, lets you know how long I was dealing with it and wanting to get it removed. So sometime in 2019, I had a consultation. We discussed things. He told me how it would go, and was like, also it'll be $2,800. Who has $2,800? At the time, I definitely didn't. And at the time I did express to like my parents about it, but I don't think anybody really took it as serious as I was taking it, until they realized how big it really got. But at this point, like, no one was willing to help me. I also was in a tight spot financially, couldn't really save money, so I just kind of said whatever with it and kept living my life. We're gonna fast forward. We're living all of 2019, all of 2020, and most of 2021 in this horrible, depressed, self-conscious state, until one day my dad calls, and this is around July, August of 2021. He calls and goes, hey, yeah, I'm at the pool, and one of my neighbors, you know, we've been friends for whatever X amount of years that we've been living here, and we always see him, and also he reminded me that he's a surgeon, and he does those things, that thing that you have. He removes them. I said, a keloid? He was like, yeah, he does stuff like that. That's the kind of surgeon that he is. Anyways, I told him that he was like, yeah, my daughter has one of those. Do you think she could come in and you know, see you? And according to my dad, our neighbor was thrilled, more than happy to see me, invited me to his home, told me, come by, ring the doorbell, and he'll give me an examination. He'll consult me in that moment in his living room, in his foyer, consulted me, as I did. So a couple of weeks later, I knocked on his door and was like, hey, my dad, you know, hi, Tony's daughter, could you look at my ear? So we talked, and the way he made everything seem was very much like, oh, I'll do for you. Like, I'll do it for you. Like, I got you. This is like neighbor discount, da 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 da. And it's just like, we wasn't asking for anything for free, but this is what you gave. This is the energy you were giving. You were giving, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. Like, don't you even worry about it. He even mentioned, I'll lay you on the pool. He was like, I'll lay you on a floaty in the pool and remove it. Like just like it was just that, whatever. Like, it was just that simple of a task for him, right? And that it would be no sweat off his back, no inconvenience at all. He could do it for us, right? So I'm excited, I'm lit, I'm giddy. This is August of 2021. We scheduled the first appointment, which was sometime around, I think it was August 26th. We scheduled my first appointment, and I'm thinking I'm gonna go in there and see him. I'm thinking, oh, I could be having my surgery today, because mind you, I'm not expecting an elaborate procedure to be done, right? Because the last time I got it done, I just showed up to the office, they laid me down, they numbed me up, and they removed it. So in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, this is how it's gonna go for this as well, plus radiation, right? So, because this time around, I was serious about radiation. I was serious about like getting it removed properly. I wasn't trying to get it removed and not do radiation again. And the thing about this specific doctor was, because he's removed keloids before, and this is something that he does, is what he practices, he knew that getting radiation was the way to seal the deal on the whole procedure. So he even has a connect. He has a radiology guy who he'll then send me to right after my surgery, and we'll be good to go, right? So come August 26th, I'm really excited for my appointment. I get there, and good morning. It is the day of my surgery. It is like 9:35 right now. My appointment's at 10 o'clock. Luckily, it's like 10 minutes down the street, so I need to hurry up and get going. I want to get there obviously before 10 o'clock, so I'm super nervous. I'm gonna be awake during the procedure, so but you know, it should be fine. Last look at the ear. Say goodbye. You are no longer coming back. Whew, I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Let's go in here. It is 9:48, so I got about 12 minutes to spare, so let's go in here. So we're here, guys. Just finished doing paperwork and stuff for my insurance. Now I'm just waiting. I just really hope that he recognizes me. I mean, I'm sure he will, but I just want to know if he knows that I'm coming today. Like, did it register when he looked at his appointments, the name and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Because this is my dad's neighbor, by the way. But we'll get into that story if I haven't, or you already know about that story. I'm talking to the lady. I'm talking to the lady at the front desk, and she is like treating me as like a regular patient, right? So I'm like, I'm a little nervous, right? Because I haven't talked to this guy, because I think when I consulted with him in his living room, it was maybe about 2 to 3 weeks after that I actually got on the schedule for an appointment. So in my mind, I was already skeptical. I was like, well, does he remember it's me? Does he remember I'm coming today? This, that, and the third. Chow. They take me through the whole ringer of signing up, setting up, paying a $250 cover to come in, right, to be seen. Then I pay it. I'm like scrambling, right? At this point, I didn't have $250 on me to pay them. Like, I might have had the money, but not to give to them, right? That wasn't my intentions for that $250, okay? So at the time, financially, I needed help. So I was like, text my sister, text whoever. I'm like, yo, I need $250 or whatever. I need half of $250, whatever. Can you help me out? Boom. Pay the $250. And then I go to the back. So they finally call me back. I go to the back, and it's mind you, my neighbor is an older white man. I get to the back, and they're like, Dr. So-and-so is going to come and see you. And I said, Dr. who? I'm here to see Dr. B. I'm going to call him Dr. B. I'm here to see Dr. B. And the gentleman was like, oh, well, he's not in today, so you're going to see this doctor instead. So here I am having to explain my whole situation again to this new doctor, and I'm like confirming to him, like, yeah, I was in Dr. B's living room. We already did this. We already had a consultation. He told me to come. I would be seeing him. I'm really confused what's going on. This and the third. This doctor, and it's like everybody, and it felt in that moment like everybody was just kind of brushing me under the rug. I was saying little things here and there, but it's like people weren't clicking. It was like no one's really listening to me. Oh, just she'll follow the procedure like everybody else. Like, it was really frustrating because that's not the impression I was given that I was going to be entering into. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not where the expectations that I had. So I go through this whole appointment. This new doctor starts checking my sinuses and starts diagnosing me with all this other kind of stuff, inflammation, or you know, clogged up sinuses, a whole thing. Prescribed me 3 different medications, told me to come back for appointments for blood to be drawn, this and a third. I came here to see Dr. B about my keloid removal surgery. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I left the office that day in tears. So, surgery didn't happen. Okay. Literally. Of course, I called Dimitri crying, and then I finally talked to my dad. My dad actually called me after the appointment, but I ignored his call because I was in the car crying like a child. I later called him and was very upset. That whole day just took me out. And it's annoying how emotionally like attached to everything that was going on with my ear was, but that's just how it was. Like, if you know, you know. Okay, so here I am going into this appointment thinking that either I'm about to have my keloid removed, and I leave being diagnosed and prescribed a whole bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with my ear. Okay, it was a little bit of back and forth. My dad ran into our neighbor in the neighborhood, and he mentioned everything that happened. He told him, you know, all that happened the day of my appointment, and he was super apologetic, right? So we're like, okay, clean slate, let's try again, let's get me on the books again. He's gonna talk to the receptionist people, he's gonna let them know who I am. No longer should I, or did I, have to pay another $250 deposit, because I was about to have to keep paying that every time I came to the doctor's office. Another reason why I was boohoo crying, because I'm like, bro, like, I didn't know I was gonna come out all this money up with this situation. So, you know, he made sure they know who I was. From that point on, I didn't pay another copay. So we booked a second appointment. This particular day, he told me to call, and when I called, I made a new appointment for my second appointment, and he was like, yep, and we'll get you all squared away, we'll get you taken care of. I'll see you when you book your new appointment. So I'm like, okay, great. This is really happening. I'm about to have my surgery. Yes, this is great. Today's the day, guys. Your girl even got her little bun in. You know, I haven't worn my hair like this in so long. Oh my God. I don't even know like what to think or how to think. This is officially the last day you're gonna see me with this thing on my ear. It is completely taking over at this point. It's huge. I can't hide it anymore, and it's just time for it to go. So I'm really excited. I don't know what my ear is gonna look like once it's gone. It's definitely going to be shorter, but I'm hoping that it just like it's not even noticeable, you know. I'd much rather deal with that than worrying about this, okay, you know. So anyways, I'm actually running late. There's some discrepancy with my appointment time, if I'm gonna be honest with you. When I scheduled it, they said 8:45, so that's the time I'm going for, but another lady left me a message and was like, just following up with you about your 9 o'clock appointment with the doctor. And I'm just like, sister girl. So it's happening today. We're on the way. So let's say goodbye to this ugly mass on my freaking ear. One last good look at it for the people in the back. And we're about to be keloid free, so let's do it. In the room, I'm pretty sure this is where it's gonna be going down. So 9:26, I was out there for like 35-40 minutes, but it's cool. We're here, it's happening. So honestly, don't even like, at this point I'm just annoyed because surgery's not happening today. Probably will be another month until it does happen. I have to, this was, okay, so you know the backstory, okay? So because this guy that's a neighborhood friend of my dad, so he's doing his best to work with us, and I'm very appreciative. But I do feel like there are times where information can be shared and it's not. And I'm left assuming. I thought my surgery was going to be today. When I talked to the lady on the phone, surgery with Dr. on Friday, 8:45. Okay. Bitch, I got my hair in a bun. And I'm annoyed because I really thought. So great. Come my second appointment, it ends up being a whole nother consultation. He ends up not being able to override the system like he thought he could. He was like, it's just formalities. I have to see you again today so that we can discuss the ear, take pictures of the ear, do basically the normal outline, the normal step-by-step of what the procedure usually is for keloid removal surgery. Okay, so another appointment in my book, kind of wasted of my time, you know what I'm saying, seeing as we did this, you know. And I think the biggest problem, my biggest problem with this whole storyline was that I kept being told things, but different things kept happening. So I was just starting to like really lose trust in what he was saying, really lose trust in what the receptionist ladies were saying. It was just all a big mess. And of course, after my second appointment, I think I cried again because the way, I'm telling y'all, I'm not making this up in my head. he really made it seem like this would be the day for surgery. So here I am coming in. I even wore my hair slicked back, and I don't do that. I wore my hair slicked back. He even commented on my hair. He was like, oh yeah, you don't usually wear your hair back, do you? And I said, no, because who you think, like, come on. I'm really about to have a freaking anxiety attack because I've never ordered anything through the drive-thru with my freaking ear just out and about like this. Like, I'm so embarrassed because my ear is on the driver's side. Like, I can't just like pretend it's not there. Jesus Christ. I just wish I had the confidence and the self-love to want to walk around like this, but this was not God-given. Okay, this is an unfortunate series of events, and I shouldn't have to accept my ear. No, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to chalk it up and have to talk myself out of panic attacks just to go to a freaking drive-thru to see somebody I'm never gonna see again in my life. It's just the fact that, like, people look at it and I know that you automatically just think something in your head. I'm literally having a panic attack right now, and I'm just trying to talk myself through it. Jesus Christ, man. I'm sorry, Lord, but this is... I just left the drive-thru to get some food at Martin's. Well, first I stopped and got coffee at Dunkin' because I really was craving a pumpkin coffee. So I got like one that was frozen. But man, this is what I be talking about. This is exactly why I don't wear my hair back. I had the little lady. So I came to Martin's to get some like real food. And the lady, of course, goes, can I ask you something? What's that on your ear? And granted, she was asking because she said her daughter has one on her ear. She was like, it's not that big though, but she has one on the back of her ear. She said it doesn't bother her, yada, yada, yada. So now here I am explaining to you about my dang keloid on my ear. Just, oh, God. Ugh, way to slap me around. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly why I don't wear it out, because I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to say anything about it. I don't want nobody asking me questions, even if it's questions about what you need in help. I'm sorry, I'm just not there mentally and emotionally. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm going home and I'm not leaving the house for the rest of the day, period. That day was just traumatizing yet again, and it's crazy because you'll notice throughout this story that numerous times things kept happening. It was almost like God did not want me to have surgery with Dr. B. I don't know what for, I don't know why, but you'll see, and I'm gonna share more things that keep happening, that keep blocking me from having surgery with him. So I just want to open your eyes to that so that you can like kind of keep a lookout for this storyline and how it all unfolds. It was really frustrating because it wasn't until after this second appointment where I was informed of how everything would truly go and what the next steps were, which then led us to the radiologist. Now, the radiologist was a connect for Dr. B. Dr. B specifically works with him often and sends a lot of his keloid patients to this specific radiologist. Now, this radiologist was also covered under my insurance, so I was able, after some back and forth, because there's always something with this situation, it was a lot of back and forth of me having to schedule my surgery date and then schedule my date to have a consultation with the radiologist. Now, I had to have a consultation with the radiologist so they could see the ear, know what they would be performing radiation on, as well as getting my surgery dates and X, Y, and Z. It was like a whole timeline. This couldn't happen unless this was done. So it was a step-by-step process. So I visited with the radiologist. Although he made me feel really like safe about the situation, he did inform me that like, oh, you could have like later complications down the road, 20, 30, 40 years from now. You could experience things. So this is just the risk you're taking for having radiology done. And now this is a radiology location that specifically focuses on like cancer radiation. Like they don't This is not something that they specialize in. So they know how to do it and they do it, but that's not what they really do. So it just, that part made me a little uneasy, I will say. But also a big thing that was a red flag for me was during this appointment, the radiologist was expressing to me that because my surgery lands on a Thursday, I would have to absolutely come to radiation on Friday for that first session. Now there's 3 sessions that are supposed to be had after surgery. 3 back-to-back radiation sessions. The radiologist said, what we can do, and it's gonna be okay, you come in on Friday and you get your first session done. As long as you get that first session done within 24 hours of your surgery, you'll be okay. And then we can do the other 2 radiation appointments on Monday and Tuesday when we open back up. This was a red flag because that is not the best practice. In my opinion, I don't want any hiccups. Don't tell me I'll be okay for 2 days without the radiation, when that's not really the case. You're heightening my chances of the keloid coming back. So I didn't really like that, but he made me feel so comfortable about it and that it was gonna be okay. So mentally I was like, all right, I guess it'll be fine. I'm just happy that things are in motion. At this point, I was just happy things were in motion because up until now, it's been all kind of hoopla. Child, tell me why I'm leaving the the radiology office and my tire literally pops and goes flat. Is that not God saying, hey girl, look, I know you need keloid removal surgery, but don't do it with these people? Like, that is what it felt like. It felt like a sign. And it was this day, actually, when my tire went flat from leaving the radiation place, that I was kind of heightened. I was like, am I supposed to be doing this? Am I supposed to have this surgery? Like, I was feeling really uneasy. And I knew that God didn't want me to live with the keloid. That's not the case. I don't think that's the problem. I just think that the problem is the people I'm involved with right now, and that I shouldn't be having my surgery done with them. At this point, I've met with the radiologist. I've had my consultation with Dr. B. My surgery was scheduled for October 14th of 2021. It was when I was supposed to have my surgery. And I think maybe 2 to 3 weeks before my surgery, I got a call from my insurance from the radiation place saying that they could no longer perform radiation on me because my insurance no longer was covered through this particular practice. So a while ago, I have United Healthcare, and a while ago something happened with United Healthcare, and was it Emory? Wherever the radiation place was, Wellstar, it was Wellstar. Wellstar and United Healthcare are no longer contracted together. This completely, mind you, hundreds and thousands of cancer patients, plus myself, all can no longer be seen at Wellstar because our insurance is not covered because they don't have a contract anymore. This was another gut punch to me. I couldn't believe it. I was devastated. What's up, everybody? So today is October 15th, and today is supposed to be, or is the day, today is the day of my pre-op appointment for my mass removal. I'm nervous and I have a lot of anxiety today because something's going on with United Healthcare and Wellstar. Yeah, and I just got that call, I just got that call yesterday, mind you. I just got that call yesterday about my surgery not being in network anymore. My appointment's at 1:30. It is 1:10, so I'm gonna go in about 5 minutes, 15 minutes early, which is pretty good in case I have any paperwork or anything I need to do. If I could have hit every single bump in the road, it has happened. Like, I have hit every single wall, you know what I'm saying? And I just, like, my faith is kind of shook right now because I'm just like, well, what is this? What is God telling me? What is, is this not supposed to happen? I'm pretty sure God doesn't want me to live with a keloid on my ear that's painful and hurts all the time. My surgery is 1 week away, and I don't want my surgery to be pushed back. It's been months now that this has been in the works. And I'm just ready. I'm ready to be free of this thing on my ear. I'm ready. I'm just ready, guys. I don't understand. And if you deal with it out there too, then you know. You just know. So anyways, I'm gonna get my mind right really quick and head into the office, and I guess I'll update you guys on how it goes when I come out. Hopefully I'm not crying. Surgery's not happening. We have to wait, or he's recommending that I wait. He's recommending that I wait until November 1st. They're saying that United Healthcare and Wellstar will have something resolved by November 1st. So he just really advises, because if we start all the way over, it's going to prolong the process. There could be, when we could just wait for United Healthcare and Wellstar to get their ish together. I didn't know what to do. When I spoke with Dr. B, I spoke to both the radiologist and Dr. B. The radiologist said that I could just still have the procedure done and pay out of pocket, which was going to be thousands of dollars. Or I could have Dr. B refer me to a different radiation place that was in network. So I'm calling Dr. B. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He explains everything to me, and on my end, I'm asking him, can we please just start the process again for a new radiation location? But it kind of seemed like he didn't really want to do that work because it would be starting all the way over. So his advice was to wait a month until they said that they should have a decision should be made by November 1st, 2021. And then we can see what we need to do. He said, let's just pause for right now, because he really wanted to use his radiation therapy connection with the gentleman who I met with before. I'm pissed, but I wait again. I'm like, God, I hear you. I'm not gonna rush it. It is what it is, right? November 1st comes, and I have an appointment scheduled already. So I go to see Dr. Barrick, and of course he has no news. Actually, horrible news for me was that Wellstar and United Healthcare have not made a decision, and we will have to start the process over again, which is what I wanted to do in the first place, right? So here we are again, starting all the way over. He has to recommend me to a new radiation place. That radiation place then has to reach out to me. I have to confirm dates, this, that, and the third. Mind you, we have to set a new surgery date, because October 14th has well passed now. It's November 1st. So everything, the entire process has to start over. And this takes a while. This takes about maybe like a month to solidify. At this point, we find a new radiation place. We're contacting them. We're settling everything. We're going back and forth. After finding a new radiation place that Dr. B referred me to, I was able to get in with them. I was able to get scheduled with them. But we were running into the issue because my new surgery date was planned for January 13th, which was, I believe, January 13th of 2022, which I believe was a Thursday. Whatever the date was, I don't know if it was the 13th, 10th, 12th, whatever the date was, the specific day was a Thursday, because apparently that's the only day that Dr. B performs surgery. So I'm going back and forth. Mind you, the surgeon's location and the radiology location have not talked. It's all coming through me, so I'm stressed, right? I'm going back and forth. I'm like talking to them, and they're like, well, you can't do that. You need to pick a different date. Call back the surgery place. Hey, I can't have my surgery this day because it's a Thursday and I need 3 consecutive days of radiation. Shout out to them, because the other radiologist was gonna let me skip 2 days and then come back for the other 2. I need my surgery to be on a Monday or Tuesday so that I can have 3 consecutive days of radiation. Is there any way you can work with me? Sister girl at the desk talking about, I'm sorry, but Dr. B only performs surgeries on Thursdays. And it was just kind of left at that. Like, there was no resolution. There was no problem solving. It was just, he only performs surgeries on Thursdays. So I said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I'll go elsewhere. And so at that point, I wiped my hands clean with Dr. B. I wiped my hands clean with that whole situation, because I was fed up. Eventually, Dr. B left me a voice message saying that he would, no, I'm lying. Let me backtrack. Maybe about 3 to 4 weeks later, I get a call from the surgery place saying, hey, so sorry about the miscommunication, because I think at this point my dad saw him in the neighborhood and they had a conversation. So sister girl's calling me talking about, we're so sorry for the confusion, so sorry for the mix-up. Dr. B is going to perform your surgery any day of the week. He's able to do it Monday. He's gonna make he expressed to us that he was gonna make an exception for you, and he will perform your surgery on a Monday. Would you like to schedule it today? And I was on the phone. I said, the last time I heard from you all was 3 to 4 weeks ago. I have already scheduled my surgery elsewhere. Thank you. And at this point, after speaking with my dad and him just really seeing the emotional and physical toll that the keloid was really taking on me, he decided to help me out with the payments. And luckily, shout out to all the time that took, I was able to have enough money for me to be able to pay for half of my surgery, and then my dad paid for the rest. And insurance, it was about $2,800, but the surgery cost way more than that. But because it was out of network, once I paid my deductible, I was able to let my insurance handle the rest of the surgery. Can I get a hallelujah? We have settled on a surgery date. It is far out. It's only December now, but my surgery is scheduled for April 11th of 2022. At this point, I was elated. I was excited because I knew that this wasn't like the last time. In Lexington Plastic Surgeons, everything is done in-house. You get your surgery there, you get your radiation there. They have a plan. This is what they do. And I couldn't have been more happy. And on that day, I was able to secure a surgery spot, and from this point it was a waiting game and a prep game, and I'm so excited to share the rest of this journey with you guys. Stay tuned for the next video. This next video is going to be surgery preparation and the surgery day, so you guys aren't going to want to miss that. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you're just somebody out there just thankful that I'm sharing my story and sharing my journey with you with dealing with a keloid. And I can't wait to share some helpful resources for you guys, for anybody who's out there looking for surgery, for keloid removal surgery. But stay tuned, because in the next video, you're gonna see all the preparation for surgery, plus the surgery day. So turn your bell notifications on, give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for hanging in there if you're here all the way to the end of this story time, and I'll catch you in part 2. Bye.